Hey everybody, I'm going to wait a little bit for a couple more people to show up. In the meantime, I'm going to put on my hand sanitizer, my industrial sized bottle, because it makes me feel more prepared. Nice. So, just in case anybody's wondering, this is being recorded, and if you have to leave early, it will also be available later on LinkedIn. I will add it to the comments section of the post that I made earlier that some of you I think saw on LinkedIn and are now here because of that post. And I will also post it in a separate post on LinkedIn along with the script that I'm looking at down on my other computer, which you can't see right now. That's going to cover everything that I'm saying in this. So if anybody doesn't feel like rewatching my face for another 20, 30 minutes, then you can also get everything you need to know from the script that I will post. Putting the cap back on my hand sanitizer so it doesn't escape. All right. So this is the third live stream for the Unlocking Society Hackathon from the Brightland Smart Services Campus, Digital Hub Aachen, and the Corda Campus Hasselt. My name is Christopher Sparks. I am the Head of Entrepreneurial Development at the Brightland Smart Services Campus in Heerlen. And what we've done is gathered a whole bunch of challenges and a whole bunch of participants for an online digital hackathon that we're going to be having starting next Monday. And it's a three days of hacking with the results being posted on the Friday, May 15th. So, without any further ado, welcome again. I'm just going to be live streaming today, so there's not going to be any other interaction outside of in the comment sections on the YouTube live stream. Be prepared for a bit of a slow pace. There's exactly 6 seconds of lagging between me speaking and it showing up on the screen. And yes, again, everything else will be available in an email, on LinkedIn after this session today. So the live stream recording as well as the script. So, I just want to start by thanking some of the supporters and people that are involved in this. The first, I would like to thank the Unlocking Society crew. So everybody on the back end who's working on this and helping out with questions and setting up the hackathon infrastructure and also the companies that are sending in challenges. Thank you to everybody who's been really pulling to make this happen in an extremely short amount of time. It's been really fun, and I think that we can actually have some serious impact with what we're pulling off, both in this iteration of the hackathon as well as in future versions, because I think that we can do this a couple more times during the crisis. The ecosystem partners I would like to thank specifically, so Corda Campus Hasselt and Mark Bainders, also his project Startup Connector, That's an amazing platform connecting with other startups and sourcing startup resources that we otherwise wouldn't be able to find. The Digital Hub Aachen, Jan Muller and Andreas Drager, thank you guys also for being ecosystem partners on this. The knowledge partners I would also like to thank University of Maastricht and BIS, Open University and Karoo, Hogeschool Zuid, and TNO as well. The Brightlands business ecosystem is also pulling heavily, also government ecosystem is pulling heavily for getting the challenges onto the Spark board and centralizing them so that we can have teams work on them. So first off, what is a hackathon? I'm really wondering how many people have actually, hey, there's Bram on the chat. If anybody has ever been to a hackathon and you're on the live stream link right now, if you could just type in the name of the hackathon that you've been to. It may be that no one has ever been to a hackathon, but let us know if you've been to one, and I'll check it in a second. So a hackathon under normal circumstances is something that people gather in a physical place, and it's a sort of a concentration of human enthusiasm, passion, energy, etc. And when you concentrate that energy, it kind of feeds off of it itself, and it snowballs into a 3-day event where everybody is kind of hungry to solve problems that are coming from business and government. We don't have the luxury of being live with one another right now, of course, because of the social distancing measures. But what we do have is the most efficient communication system in the history of science, man, etc. We have the internet, which is amazing to have as a resource. What would we do? How bored would you be right now if you didn't have the internet? If I didn't have the internet, I would be playing the classic American game of am I bored or am I hungry? And I would weigh several more kilos than I actually do right now. So thank God for the internet, right? What we do is we try to replicate that enthusiasm in a physical hackathon in a digital environment. But to really boil down what a hackathon is, it is the taking of challenges and opportunities in any organization or system and then putting them on a platform and connecting it with the people that can solve those problems, challenges, or take advantage of those opportunities. And that's exactly what we're doing with the Unlocking Society Digital Hackathon, only in a digital format. We are not the first people to do this. There was a movement started actually only about a month ago in Estonia, the Hack the Crisis movement, which has set up hubs in every European country and hackathons in every European country to do a very similar format of what we are doing in this hackathon. So I want to thank all of those people who sort of started the momentum behind the European Crisis Hackathon movement. And there was also another giant digital hackathon, which had somewhere between 20 and 45,000 participants actually in the EU that kicked off, I think it ended last week. That was EU versus virus. And that was pretty remarkable. I think that's the biggest hackathon ever in the history of man. What is our Unlocking Society hackathon? It is a lighter version of a physical hackathon, so everything is a lot lighter. It's a lot less impact. It's not requiring 3 full days from anyone. There's also a more casual relationship between the challenge holders and the participants and also us, the organizers. There's no pen to paper in this. There's no business model behind it. So we're doing this basically on goodwill of everybody involved, which I think is also a very nice thing to have happening. And when it comes down to it, it's a matchmaking effort. We want to match up the right teams with the challenges and opportunities that we see. Let me check the comments. Hack the Toekomst in Apeldoorn 2009. Stanley Coffin has been at that hackathon. So we have a couple people that maybe know what a hackathon is that have already been to one. Hack the Future. Cool. So why are we doing this? 3 reasons. Social responsibility is a big part of what we would like to be accomplishing with this. It's the right thing to do. Setting up connections between people who need each other is something that we can definitely perform given our network, both on the business and government side, as well as on the entrepreneur and tech side. So we can bring those 2 groups together and sort of put them together in a way that the puzzle pieces work and fit. It is also it's also a method by which we hope to bring back a feeling of control for people who otherwise feel like they've been sitting at home for far too long and might not have a place to put their energy, enthusiasm, passion, talent, skills, interest. And we want to help people feel like they get more control back during the crisis. It's no fun sitting at home. I liked it for the first couple of weeks, but I personally this is not for me. And I think that there's a lot of other people out there that have the same feeling. So hopefully through the hackathon, you get to feel some measure of control. We also would like to build our own capacity for these lighter innovation events and in the form of a hackathon. So we want to repeat this afterwards, after this first version. So who is it for? It's for anyone from a toddler to an elderly person. So a toddler who might need to use a social distancing methodology in the future. You might want to interview a young person that is going to be a user of a system that you're building in the hackathon. That's somebody that could be actually a participant. Also the elderly, a demographic that is heavily impacted by the crisis. Not just because they're at risk, but also because there's the social distance of being an elderly person and not being able to see your children and grandkids. That's not an upgrade in lifestyle, let's say. So they're impacted in a lot of different ways as well. The hackathon could also be for those people as participants because they need to be addressed. Their needs and quality of life need to be addressed as well. It could also be a marketer, anyone from a marketer to a systems architect. So from the marketing side all the way to the very technical side. All of these talents, skills, interests can be included in the hackathon. And basically, I hate to say this, but I think this is the only time that I can say that this is true, is that the hackathon is for everyone, because everybody in society is actually part of the stakeholder stack. Everyone is a stakeholder in the crisis. Everyone's being significantly impacted from it. So everyone's voice and knowledge can be contributed towards finding solutions on the platform of the hackathon. So the agenda that we're going to have today is very quick. I am already, 11 minutes in. I'm going to get a 30-minute warning from Ida, my colleague, and when that happens, I'm going to try to speed things up. But there's some important stuff because we have a semi-final challenge list, and I'm excited to share that with everybody. So let me just get right into it. The challenges. We have decided to combine all of the themes under one theme, which is Unlocking Society, the New Normal. There was a lot of overlap with the challenges that we were able to draw out of the government and business partners. So we decided to have one theme with 7 challenges underneath. We've parked them all under the one theme, as I said. And they've become more concrete and more differentiated, but also there was some overlap. So the first challenge, becoming human again. I want to be a human again. I don't know about you guys. How might we use existing tech solutions to help society again interact in a healthy manner? Healthy. How can we use this technology to get people back into the office? How might these solutions be extended to medical professionals as well as their families? So this is a technical question. What tech solutions? This is just a quick clue. What we're looking for here is something much more angled towards the preventative app or tracking app that everybody has been speaking about in the EU for the past couple weeks that Germany first spoke about. So this is how do we alert people that they're in a hot zone or let them know that they've come into contact with somebody who is in fact infected with the coronavirus. The challenge owners of that are the ecosystem partners. That's the Brightlands Smart Services Campus, Core to Campus Hasselt, and Digital Hub Aachen. The second challenge is optimizing foot traffic in an office. What non-digital solutions are there to optimizing built environments like offices for minimizing the likelihood of infection? From an employee parking her car to driving away at the end of the day, digital tools and illustrations are encouraged for modeling this physical world challenge. So you can imagine how much opportunity there is for a disease to spread from when she drives into the office in the morning and pushes the button to drive into the parking garage, from when she leaves at the end of the day. How do we optimize the foot traffic in a building? I don't know, but somebody out there must know. And that's what we're trying to find out. And the challenge owners are the Student Hotel Collab, Customer Service Valley, and Data. The third challenge, excuse me, is 1.5 meters as a service. With the COVID crisis, social distancing is becoming increasingly important. This also holds for organizations in chemical industries. The safety concerns in the chemical industry are many. Certain activities can be crucial for the safety of the plant, and thus the planet, and need to be executed somehow. In the meantime, it is paramount that the engineers and mechanics who do the maintenance remain in excellent health. A fallout of this particular niche of the workforce can have catastrophic effects on the condition, integrity, and therefore safety of the plant. This challenge relates specifically to hazardous work environments, not specifically to office locations, bathrooms, etc. So one can imagine if the system of a power plant or a chemical facility is negatively affected by the workforce being infected with coronavirus. What do you do then? We need to figure out how to preemptively solve that problem. The challenge owners for that particular challenge are SciTech. The fourth challenge is very unique and I think very emotional on a certain level. I think that makes it also quite compelling. Arranging a funeral remotely. How can you arrange a funeral via the internet? No longer at the table with the families. In which way that nobody feels short, including the DELA colleague who facilitates the funeral. If the new normal is remote funeral planning, how can the very human act of comforting be somehow replaced when digital means are necessary? So when a funeral is planned, normally what happens is that some representative from a company goes to the house of the family whose relative has passed, and they, across literally the dinner table, they actually help that person plan the funeral. That can't happen anymore. There's further context to this particular challenge, and the challenge holder is, by the way, DELA. Traditionally, this is a quote, traditionally, our DELA colleagues involved with arranging the funeral were doing so at the kitchen table with the family. A big motivation in this job is meaning. They reach that meaningfulness by being close to families and giving them a great service. Some of our colleagues are experiencing the job less meaningfully because of the distance. Additionally, in an extremely sensitive time when supplying funeral planning. So again, the challenge owner is DELA, and I know also other challenge owners that are in this live stream right now could maybe speak to the DELA people and also help them with this particular problem that they are having. The fifth challenge is re-democratizing management and decision-making, another very compelling challenge that is coming from a company that normally is dealing with elderly care, but this is interesting because I think it applies to all businesses. How can we restart the democratic processes within a company given the remote nature of the new normal work environment without losing the possibility / speed that we have now? The crisis also has a positive side when it comes to innovation procedures. Innovation decisions can go faster or can be skipped with a top-down approach. This is what we've been relying on in a lot of companies. The person at the top dictates things to do to the people below him or her. A lot of barriers in the normal, more democratic processes that we normally are using are gone, and things get done very quickly. But the bad side is that field or content specialists don't have the time to participate and bring their knowledge in the way that they could before the crisis. Normally, specialists on a project or groups of specialists are able to provide input on a very frequent basis from a bottom-up perspective. But during the crisis, there is a major reliance on top-down decision-making and autocracy. It took us years to get to a democratic process within companies. How can we keep that through the crisis and strike a balance with the speed of autocracy? What practical working processes can we add to the work week that can maintain high levels of engagement? The challenge holders on that are primarily Meander Group, and also DELA has joined on this challenge as well because they're very interested in understanding what practical working processes can be added to the work week that can maintain high levels of engagement. So almost compensating for that, that lack in communication to make sure that everybody feels involved. And so that in at least a Dutch working environment, we can maintain the polder model and keep the democratic decision-making that we are so used to, actually. So the sixth challenge is securing nature for humans. A large percentage of the population of Limburg, but also other regions of the Uregio, are patiently waiting for quarantine to end so that they may once again enjoy spring and all that it has to offer outdoors. Tourism boards and governments are anticipating the enthusiasm to create problems with the flow of human foot traffic on bike lanes and hiking paths, especially if a sudden influx of people begin using these outdoor areas again all at once. Some kind of solution to optimizing the flow of people in the outdoor space is needed, to prevent crowds and traffic from overwhelming social distancing standards that will still be necessary to keep people healthy? How might governments advise outdoor enthusiasts on the most healthy locations to enjoy nature? Is it an app? I don't know. If so, how do we get the right dynamic data to make the app operate as up to the minute as possible? The second half of this challenge presents an opportunity to, by preventing buildups of heavy human traffic, redirect them to undiscovered places in, for example, South Limburg. Because of this, there is also the opportunity to help small businesses which are off the beaten path and may have an even harder time surviving the crisis as opposed to their more central brothers and sister businesses. After the crisis, the app can help integrate other cultural, historical, and outdoor themes for tourism boards to help visitors and residents to discover. The challenge holders for this challenge are WWW Zuid-Limburg and Provincie Limburg. So how do we make sure that the enthusiasm that people have for going outside on what has proven to be one of the most beautiful springtimes in my most recent memory, how do we provide that over-enthusiasm from infecting people? And how do we actually keep it up to date without encroaching on privacy norms that have been set by the EU? The seventh challenge is securing the inner city. How can we implement practical and explainable measures that can guide compliance with the 1.5 meter society in a playful and self-evident manner? How can we seduce people to give each other space, both in public space and in public buildings or other locations? How can we implement practical and explainable measures that can guide compliance? The solutions must strike a balance between being strict enough to stop further infection now, while being flexible enough to accommodate future measures, or even the loosening of restrictions over time. The challenge holder of this particular challenge is the Gemeente Heerlen. So I just want to again thank all of the challenge holders for working with us on boiling down these topics. They're quite specific, but that's because this is a very practical hackathon. These are real life challenges that have come up actually in these organizations within about the past month to 2 months. So this is quick onset, very urgent need for solutions, and they are thus very specific challenges. The faster that we can get the solutions, the faster we can hopefully implement all of them in the real world. So next up is, also don't forget to check the Spark board for this final version of the challenge list, which I'm going to post tonight. Next up, the platforms and some housekeeping basics for the actual event. So the first platform that we've chosen is Discord. I don't know, however, how many of you are frequent gamers out there or who enjoy screaming obscenities across the airways to people on the other side of the planet, but if you've ever played on Discord and streamed on Discord, you know that it's something that your swear words get to your opponent very, very quickly. It's a very stable platform. The audio quality is extremely consistent. Everyone can be assigned to their team with a private room just for their team and the crew / the coaches. It supports file and screen sharing, and also the GIFing is quite on point there. So the GIFs are really sick, and we want to make sure that you guys have the sickest GIFs available, of course. The next platform that we've chosen is Sparkboard. This is where we centralize all of the ideas and information for the hackathon. So where we are posting the challenges, but also at the same time, the participants can post their ideas, their individual profiles, and team profiles. It's like a digital prickboard in Dutch. Prickboard is it's a cork board. I have some cork right here, just so happens. This is the one-stop shop for all critical information about the hackathon. It's where you should first check if you can't find a team. So if you're an individual out there and you're watching right now, please check Sparkboard for other teams that you can join. If you need to find a team, You could also post your own ideas on Sparkboard. I know that my friend Oscar Person, who I don't think he's in this live stream right now, he posted his own profile on there, and people can join with him, or he can join other teams. If you're a team that has a similar idea with another team, don't be afraid to reach out to them and merge. Or if all else fails, we can also you can also email us, and we can help you find a team that you can join. We need to have the teams formed by May 7th, and I know that that's only a couple days from now. But if everyone could sort of pay attention to Sparkboard a little bit, put your ideas up there, really get the traffic going on that platform, it would be a major help to us. So we want to get as much interaction on there as possible. And the first step to the interaction is actually putting yourself, your idea, and your team onto Sparkboard. On May 8th, all of the teams will be granted access to their team rooms on Discord. So the next question is mentoring and coaching. Some of the challenge holders are also sending coaches and mentors, and I suggest that any team that is in a particular challenge definitely go ahead and already schedule on May 8th some time with the challenge holder. I think it's important that you actually establish a basis of communication with these people, both the challenge holding coaches as well as normal coaches / mentors, because what you really want to do is get to know the people and their problems. And if you have any questions on the specifics of the problem, it's really important that you actually have a communication with the challenge holding organizations. On May 8th, when you are given access to your Discord room, you can follow the instructions there, and via a doodle link, you can reserve time with that particular mentor and coach. So to summarize, on May 8th, the instructions for scheduling time with mentors and coaches will be made available. The hacking itself occurs on May 11th, 12th, and 13th, with the winners announced on the 15th. We suggest a time frame for the mentoring coaches of 16 to 19 hours, and that's just because we want to make sure that they feel that they're being that their time is predictable, that they know that there's a 3-hour window within which teams can schedule their time. But if you're a team and you want to hack outside of that time, obviously feel free to hack, day and night if you want to. That's completely up to your discretion. We also can't control it, so there's no recourse. So hack your heart away if you are a team. The judging criteria will be released within the next couple days on Sparkboard, so that you can understand what the judges and partners will be looking for. And then on May 13th at midnight, we're going to ask that you submit all of your final pitches. On the final day, on May 15th, from 11 to 4, we will be playing all of the pitches on a live stream. A link will be published on Discord the day before, also on LinkedIn, so that all of the pitches can be seen and all the results can basically be watched. The link will also be on Sparkboard. From 4 o'clock on Friday, May 15th, we will be calling the winning teams and be having a virtual celebration. I don't know what that looks like yet. I think that all the teams should have some sort of beverage prepared. I myself will not be drinking bleach at that time. I prefer water, so bottoms up. #USA. And the aftercare for the hackathon, or the quote-unquote prizes, we're not using that word, this is aftercare, because what we want to do is make sure that any of the solutions that are built are able to be put into the world as quickly as possible. The aftercare includes space at a campus between 1 and 3 months on one of the 3 campuses, meaning Corda, Brightlands, or Digital Hub. Access to network across the 3 campuses, meaning that whatever resources that are needed for a project to be moved forward, we will help in our network with supplying those resources. You will have exposure in the Uregio because we will be posting ad nauseum about you as the winning teams. You will receive other in-kind resources, for example, network brainstorming sessions. I personally do a 1 to 2 hour session where we sit down and essentially have as many ideas as we possibly can get onto a whiteboard. We put them on the whiteboard and then we go one by one and try to execute on all of those ideas. And contacts with potential partner organizations to accelerate the projects. Also, of course, meetings with the challenge holders, should they be as accepting as the judges of your final product. So now I would like to invite all of you. How much time have I used? 30 minutes on the dot. Now we have to do Q&A. So let's see on the Q&A. I see Jack commenting future-proof police. Anybody, if you have a question, go ahead and post it on the chat right now, and I will get to it, and Ida will also help me on the back end. And by the way, I'm looking at a screen in this direction, so I'm not just staring out my window as you guys are typing up your questions. Jack wants to build a wall in the office. Water gang, water gang, water gang. Hydro homies, all right. Bottoms up. Okay. Any questions? There's a lag in the live stream. Thanks, Bram. No questions? Appreciate it, buddy. No questions yet from Stanny. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over a couple closing statements. So very important things just to close this out. Please ask any other questions on Sparkboard after the live stream. So you can contact either of us. Some of you also know me personally, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and directly accost me to ask me that burning question that you have. If you have not yet signed up to the hackathon, please do so. Please do that via Eventbrite. I will also, after this live stream, be posting the live stream, the script that I'm now reading from, and also very important links that will also be on that post. So if you haven't yet signed up for the live stream, please make sure you do that. That's the first step in getting involved. Please share the Eventbrite link with your friends, family, and associates to get them involved. Anybody who you think would benefit from participating in this, please share that with them. And also, please remember to register yourself and create a personal, or more importantly, a team profile on Sparkboard. So, Jack is asking, are these final? And then he retracted his message. I think he's referring to the challenges. They are indeed semi-final, so there's not much that's going to change between now and the end of the week. We are waiting on one more potential challenge from another challenge holder. I'm not going to say who that is yet, but it could be that there's one more challenge. I want to get that. I want to get that out tonight. So by tomorrow, the final challenges are final. I hope that helps, Jack. Jack, we're not building a wall in the office, and we're not going to drink bleach. So please stop asking. All right. So I think that's it, everyone. Okay, Ida is telling me that I need to explain the new structure a bit. I think she's referring to the structure of the challenges. The challenges, again, we've removed the sort of structured the more structured three themes of the challenges. Yeah, so we only have one theme, and that's Unlocking Society, the New Normal, under which there are 7 challenges. Again, as I said earlier, we don't want to confuse anyone or try to make them too complex. We don't need as many hierarchies as we had before. We found that out as the challenges came from the challenge holders. So we decided just to remove one stratification and just make it theme 1, unlocking society challenges down to 7. That's the new structure, but all of the same content is still in there. Diana would like to know something about the pitch format. Diana, I'm super happy to see you on the stream. I would definitely follow the judging criteria when it comes out, and that should be coming out in the next couple days for your pitch. Also, don't overthink that so much. I think that the main challenge here should be building a solution that's feasible enough to get deployed as quickly as possible. We want to see real life solutions coming from this hackathon, and we want to make sure that our challenge holding partners are really helped out by this, and that society is helped out by this entire effort. Again, there's no business model behind this, so it's not like we have super competitive stakes going on. It's really sort of may the best solution win. So it could be also that one of the other challenge holders finds your solution interesting for another problem that they have that they did not submit to the hackathon. So, just focus on actually creating something that's deployable and feasible. Okay, yes, also in the video, in your pitch, the solution should be explained as in a quick demo or just a PowerPoint, something of that nature. Ida, I think we should add that also then to the judging criteria. Okay. All right, and also, is there a max number of groups per challenge? We have not set any limits on that yet. Good question. I also told the challenge holders, if there are any challenge holders out there listening, please know that if your challenge does not get addressed within the context of the hackathon, we do have plans to obviously follow up with matching you with teams that can solve your problems after the hackathon. And a question that was asked in the other live streams was, how many people per team? And the simple answer is between 4 and 6. Not so many that it's going to become hard to manage, and not so few that you won't have enough brains to pick apart certain topics as you develop. Okay, everybody, I'm way over time by 7 minutes. I want to thank everyone again for joining this live stream. I want to thank everybody who's watching this video after the live stream. And please let me know if you have any questions. Get on Sparkboard, please, really, really fast, and share that Eventbrite link. We're really excited to pull this off starting next Monday. And happy hacking. Tot ziens. End stream.